Zen, or Zen Buddhism, is a school of Mahayana Buddhism that came from China approximately 15 centuries ago. In China, it is referred to as Chan Buddhism. Chan is the Chinese interpretation of the Sanskrit word dhyana, which refers to a mind absorbed in meditation. Zen is the Japanese interpretation of Chan. Zen Buddhism is not an idea or a theory, rather a practical experience to achieve enlightenment through meditation.
The practice of Zen defines a number of teachings and principles which can be applied to a vast number of settings. In particular, the 7 design principles, Kanso, Fukinsai, Shibui, Shizen, Yugen, Datsusoku, and Seijaku, are becoming increasingly popular management techniques. But how are Zen and management related? Management is the organization and coordination of resources in an effective and efficient manner. Let's have a closer look at how the 7 design principles of Zen can be adopted in a managerial situation.
Kanso principles teach simplicity and the removal of clutter. They encourage us to express ourselves plainly and naturally, to say what we mean and mean what we say, as opposed to covering our meaning or adding non-essential information. In terms of management and professional life, Kanso can be very useful. Its principles encourage leaders to speak their true meaning and with clearness, eliminating potential communication error. A mind removed of clutter will also be freer to focus on important thought and able to think more clearly. Kanso can also be applied aesthetically, utilizing simplicity to convey meaning or allow for easier interpretation or use. Kanso Zen principles can apply to presentations in advertising and are very common as a method to express ideas. Simplicity in advertising is used by many companies, where poster advertisements consist of a simple image along with a small amount of text. These principles can also apply to logos, websites, apps, and many more areas of design. Simplicity in communication allows for easy interpretation and understanding of ideas and opinions.
Fukinsai is the idea of controlling balance in a composition by being asymmetric or irregular, and is one of the central ideas of Zen. Trying to see the beauty in balanced asymmetry. Nature is full of beauty that is balanced yet asymmetrical. When life is perfect and symmetrical, it gets boring. Irregularity keeps us alert and engaged. An example of this is the Zen circle, which is often drawn as an incomplete circle to represent this irregularity of life.
Shibu, shibumi, or shibuza are Japanese words which refer to simple, subtle, and minimalist beauty. Shibumi is the concept that suggests complete harmony, tranquility, and balance, as well as eloquent silence and understanding rather than knowledge. When the concept is applied to leadership, it concerns not interfering and offering an opinion that may actually confuse or disrupt your team instead of helping. Hence, it is important for leaders to spend more time guiding rather than directing or micromanaging their people. Also, this means delegating in a way that does not render managerial responsibility non-existent.
The 4th principle of Zen is Shizen, which translates to naturalness. But what is naturalness? Or what is natural? Well, one might say that natural is the opposite of artificial. You could say that if something is natural, then there is nothing artificial about it. And this absence of artificiality is the basis of Shizen. Shizen goes a little further, however, and includes the absence of pretense. That is, anything that claims that a lie or non-truth is the truth. A good example of how this applies to the workplace is in the transparency of decision-making processes. A lack of transparency can quickly lead to cultures of distrust between employees, and trust is essential to workplace success. While this is vitally important at a managerial level, it also has application throughout the workplace, wherever decisions are being made. Shizen is easy to implement into your work life. You simply need to ask yourself, is there any artificiality or pretense in what I am doing?
Yugen is the 5th principle of Zen and is an untranslatable word with no English equivalent and thought of as an indescribable word. Yugen is more of a feeling than a visual and can be portrayed as a deep awareness of the universe, an awareness of the universe that triggers emotional responses too deep and powerful for words. To watch the sun sink behind a flower-clad hill, to wander on in a huge forest without the thought of return, to stand upon the shore and gaze after a boat that disappears behind distant islands, to contemplate the flight of wild geese seen and lost among the clouds. Yugen is a subtly profound grace and not obvious to come by. A great example of this was Steve Jobs' release of the iPhone in 2007. After his initial demonstration, there was no publicity, promoting, media leaks, demos for tech reviewers, advertising or pre-ordering, just silence up until the product release. This created a huge hype, resulting in more than 20 million people wanting to purchase the iPhone. Apple's marketing strategy was to give enough information to spark a curiosity, but to leave something for the imagination.
The sixth principle of Zen, Datsuzoku, recognizes that freedom from habit is important to promote thinking in a new way. It understands that creativity and resourcefulness emerge as a result of an interruptive break. For example, imagine that you're driving and another motorist beeps at you. This is an example of a break from the norm, and as a result, you will now be more alert of your surroundings as you look for a solution to prevent this problem from reoccurring. In a work environment, this attention to detail and newfound alertness increases productivity and often drives a breakthrough solution. In today's economic climate and competitive marketplace, the role of creativity and innovation is becoming an increasingly essential component as a means of gaining a market edge and distinguishing one company from another. Hence, implementing the Zen management technique, moreover the principle of Datsuzoku, poses one such method of nurturing and encouraging the creativity of staff, whilst creating an efficient working environment to maintain or better improve a company's market position with its increased potential for new and innovative solutions.
The seventh principle of Zen, Sujaku, is the feeling of an energized calm, stillness, tranquility, and solitude. Meditation is a method of bringing about this calm energy and is used in some industries. Zen is about listening to our intuition and messages around us. Pay attention to the present moment in time by looking, listening, and feeling what is happening around us. Leaders are more effective when they can maintain order and bring a sense of active calm to the workplace. Motivating the employees instead of enforcing authority brings about the coordination of all team members. This includes praising when good work is done, listening to ideas and suggestions, and delegating to give workers responsibility and a sense of belongingness.
But how can one achieve this level of Zen? Meditation is a popular practice often used to achieve this Zen state. Zen meditation, or Zazen, is the study of one's self. The key elements of meditation include body, breath, and mind. When practicing meditation, one sits on a zafu, or a small pillow, and the position of the body may include the Burmese position, the half lotus position, the full lotus position, the kneeling position, the chair position, the standing position.
We know what you're all thinking. Meditation. Who has time for that? I'm sure a lot of us are already super busy between uni work, honours, part-time jobs, sport, while trying to maintain some kind of social life, and barely have time to scratch our own asses, let alone sit in an uncomfortable position for 20 minutes. However, before you give up on the idea of meditation, just think about this. There are 1,440 minutes in every day. How many of those do you either spend on Facebook, your phone, or in front of TV? It is said that only taking 20 minutes a day to meditate has many great benefits on your body, mind, and soul. Meditation is shown to decrease anxiety levels by up to 15%, and research has proven that a threefold increase in the activity in your left prefrontal cortex of the brain. This is the part of the brain that is associated with positive emotions. It is also shown to increase the connectivity between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, which corresponds to a greater understanding of oneself and a decrease in negative emotions. Meditation has also shown to improve attention, increase sensitivity and focus, and improve your happiness and health, while at the same time decreasing levels of depression and stress. All of the above positives are just ways that scientists can objectively study the brain and the benefit of meditation. However, the greatest benefits from meditation are those which we cannot measure. A better understanding of oneself, an inner knowing if you like. It gives us support stronger than our deepest fears. We can go from not knowing to understanding our whole self and not be afraid of feeling incomplete.
Meditation also serves as a useful tool, especially in the application of Zen management, as a means of enhancing the working environment and improving work culture and effectiveness.